on impeachment. You'll be told this nepotism is in the engagement and employment of Edin Mutuma Murangiri, a nephew to the governor. I've spoken about that. The lesser I say about it, the better. Nefat Kinyua, the governor's brother-in-law, in public knowledge. I mean, what kind of behavior is this? Assigning diplomatic duties. You'll be told the evidence that diplomatic duties were assigned is in a Facebook post. You are told, okay, read that Facebook post. Where does it assign diplomatic duties to the governor's relatives? It is not there. It's those pictures you see there. If you look at them carefully, they are speaking. Those pictures are speaking about diplomatic duties. Surely, a Senate to be engaged in that, I was a little embarrassed. That's 5 minutes. That's okay. Bullying, vilification, demeaning other leaders. We have shown what those leaders have done to the governor. The less I say about it, the better. They actually dared and threw the first stone when they had sinned more. Illegal appointments, I'll talk about this because this is statutory and I have an obligation to guide this Senate on the law. I will refer this Senate to section 64 of the County Government Act. It says, acting appointments shall be made only by the lawful appointing authority and for a specified period. It then says, nothing in this section, nothing that previous section has said, shall prevent a public officer, like the governor here, like the county secretary, those are public officers, from deploying another officer to perform the duties vested in another office during temporary absence, during a vacance that office. You will listen to the case of the county assembly. They will keep quiet on section 64, subsection 4, as if it does not exist. But let's move just further, senators. Subsection 5 says, if it comes to the attention of the County Public Service Board that a public officer has purportedly made an acting appointment, delegation, or deployment, as the case may be, contrary to the provisions of this section, the County Public Service Board shall take necessary corrective action. This is something that the law prescribes its own procedure of remedying. Why would we use a sledgehammer of an impeachment when the law actually prescribes a lesser restrictive measure that can solve the problem? That's what the county assembly has engaged you in. Naming a public road after the husband. Show us the road. Oh, let's go to Facebook. You'll find the... Surely, Senate has been engaged in that argument. I thought they would drop it in their final argument. Council stood here and insisted, we have produced compelling evidence in a Facebook post. That's elevating jokes to new heights. Contempt of the assembly. 1. Tasked to explain where that offense is found in statute. The witness, of course, stuttered. The governor has contextualized all her responses to the county assembly. May I just inform this Senate? You have summoned governors here who have said, let us go to court and interpret the scope of your powers as Senate to invite us, to interrogate us. And you have engaged them in court. That is development of our law. That is not contempt of the assembly. The governor ought to be praised. Is this governor a peacemaker? You saw her with MCS, launching projects in their wards, giving them the opportunity to shine by being the ones who read those projects. You are politicians. You know what that means in terms of dignifying and improving the stature of those MCS. I say, true to her word, this governor is a foremost peacemaker. It matters not whether she shall be brought here 100 times. You cannot victimize her because those who torment her are tireless in their torments against her. I beseech you, senators, to vote against each of these charges overwhelmingly in the interest of your individual and collective conscience. I rest the governor's case.
Senator Akio Mutata, kindly take your seat. Take your seat, Senator Muma. Honorable Senators, ladies and gentlemen, following the conclusion of the closing remarks by the Counsel for the County Assembly and that of the Governor, Rule 27 of the Rules of Procedure when considering the proposed removal of Governor in plenary provides as follows: that the Senate shall proceed into a camera session to deliberate on the issues raised. I now therefore direct that all members of public, including the media, to withdraw from the galleries and any form of broadcast from the chamber to cease forthwith. The camera session will be held for only 10 minutes, after which the open session will resume as per the hearing program that has been circulated. Specifically, the open session will resume at exactly 10 p.m. Once we resume, the parties will be allowed to walk into the chamber and take their space. Members of public will be allowed to walk into the chamber. Media will be allowed back to the chamber. That is at exactly 10 p.m. Now, upon resumption of the open session, a supplementary order paper will be circulated. The Senate Majority Leader will give a notice of motion to facilitate debate. Debate will then ensue on the motion in the usual manner. And at the conclusion thereof, the Honorable Her Excellency Kawira Mwangaza, the Governor of Meru County, will be given an opportunity to be heard. Thereafter, the Senate will proceed to vote on each of the impeachable charges. That is the direction of the chair. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, that marks the end of the hearing of the motion for the proposed removal from office by impeachment of Honorable Kawira Mwangaza, the Governor of Meru County. Just a recap of what was happening for the past 2 days. The Senate was considering the motion for the removal from office by impeachment of one Honorable Kawira Mwangaza, the Governor for Meru County. And the County Assembly of Meru did adduce the evidence rule for witnesses. Among them was one of the people that were sent on compulsory leave by the county government of Meru. There is also the MP for Bori constituency, Honorable Mugambi Rindekiri, and Honorable Karia Evans Mawera, the MCA, was moving the motion. And there was Jeremiah Gitonga. And then the Council of Governors, the county governor rather, had 4 witnesses also: Nicholas Kinyua Josephat, Andrian Karachia, Dixon Munene, as well as herself. And there were a lot of issues for consideration that arose, among them the infamous records, the per diems, the evidence on WhatsApp, the oathing by Jorincheke Council of Elders, the identity of the motor vehicles, the videos, the verification, as well as the petition by one Mr. Salesio. And as for now, the Senate now has retreated and they will consider that motion and make a determination of the same. Thank you.
Tesfaye founded Tuba Ethiopia, creating eco-friendly and locally produced bags in Addis Ababa, providing employment opportunities for women weavers.
Eco-friendly and fair bags for men, women, for work or for going out, and produced locally in Ethiopia? Impossible. Well, not for Kiedis Tesfaye. Kiedis founded Tuba Ethiopia in 2019. In this suburb of Addis Ababa, Kiedis created 31 jobs for women like us all.
After this, we use these fabrics for different designs of bags. So we combine it with leather.
Kiedis had the idea to start a business 5 years ago. At that time, she was a student, and she was living in this area, which is known for this big dump site. In 2017, a landslide on the site caused the death of at least 130 people. After this event, Kiedis wanted to do something for the neighborhood.
One of the reasons why that happened was the existence of plastic bags in the garbage. We thought at that time if we produce environmentally friendly shopping bags, we can replace plastic bags.
But she soon realized that the initial capital needed to produce paper or fabric for shopping bags was too high for her. So she looked for another way to create jobs here. All of Kiedis' work is motivated by one idea: to create jobs for women. She trains them herself in weaving, a skill she learned from her mother. Tenyanye looks after 3 children. This work allows her to provide for a large part of the family's needs.
With the money she's giving me, I pay the rent for my house. I also have an extra job doing Shuruba hairstyles.
With the fabric made by the women, Kiedis returns to her office in the city center of Addis Ababa. The bags are then made in this small room.
And when I want to do some kind of bag, I just picture it on my mind and then I try to draw it on pattern paper.
Kiedis is not a designer, but she can count on the help of a friend, one of the 4 experienced tailors she has hired.